Hello again, and we are here with yet another X-Men Night class. If everything looks the same as the last one, so well, that's because I'm doing these all boom, 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 boom. Alright, so we are going to be looking at Scott Summers today, otherwise known as Cyclops. Now, Scott Summers was the oldest son of the Major Christopher Summers and his wife Catherine. His brother Alex and them were on a plane as they were traveling back home from from their vacation. Unfortunately, their private plane was attacked by by a scout of the Shi'ar Empire. And as the plane was crashing, Catherine gave Alex and Scott the only two parachutes, and shoved them out of the airplane. They survived, and unfortunately, it seemed as though that their parents had perished. Now, due to the fact that Scott suffered a huge head injury during this fall. And this is one of the many reasons why Scott has a problem controlling his optic blasts, or his mutant abilities. Afterwards, since their parents were presumed dead, Alex was adopted by a family. Unfortunately, Scott spent many years in a hospital in a coma. After he woke up, he was put in an orphanage that was actually secretly being ran by one of his future enemies, Mr. Sinister. Then, as Scott was adopted by a man named Jack Winters, who we later find out was the mutant criminal known as Jack O'Diamonds. After Cyclops started suffering some serious headaches, and he could not stand it. And then, after seeing some specialists, it turns out that his headaches could easily be cured by wearing glasses that were made out of ruby quartz. It made his eyes better. However, a while after that, his mutant powers erupted violently. He was just wandering around the main populace, and it caused a crane that had a bunch of, I think steel girders or something, to start falling down on some people. Scott saved these people by using his optic blast once again to completely vaporize the payload. Unfortunately, however, people thought that he was trying to kill them, and they erupted into a mob. Now, Winters heard about this and became very interested because now he could have a potential mutant partner. So Winters started asking him to join his little criminal organization. Scott said no, and so Scott started being physically beaten and abused by Winters until he agreed. However, due to Scott's optic blast, it attracted the attention of Professor Xavier, who teamed up with the FBI, and the two of them, and they put away Winters, and thus Charles Xavier enlisted Scott into his school for the gifted. And Scott became the very first member of the X-Men. Now, Scott became the deputy leader of the X-Men. He was the leader of the X-Men while they were out on their missions. And he was very good at it, actually. He was skilled he was a skilled tactician. However, his social skills were severely lacking. And he actually fell in love with his teammate, Jean Grey. And due to his, lack of social skills, never really expressed his feelings for her. And then once Then, finally, down the road, he did confess, how he felt, and the two of them became a couple.